Hi folks, I'm going to go one step further on giving you the hint for assignment 4, question number 4, to actually finish off the math, just in case anyone's still rusty on how to use a particular calculator or to do this type of math. So you have to excuse me right off the bat because I got a bad cold here and I got a real frog in my throat, so excuse me if I have to cough now and then. Anyway, what I've got on the screen right now is the Word document that I shared with you in the discussion forum, and I'm just going to follow it through. So if you see here at the end, I've got an expression, activity cubed of h plus is equal to 10 to the minus 4.49. So you're going to need a little bit of algebra now to isolate activity of hydrogen, because activity of hydrogen is the next thing that you're going to want to plug into this pH equation. So how are you going to isolate activity of hydrogen when you're starting with activity cubed of hydrogen? Well, you have to take the cube root of 10 to the minus 4.49. That's the same sort of thing as square root, only now you're dealing with an exponent of 3 instead of an exponent 2. So you've got to take the cube root. So how do you do that if you're new to a calculator? Well, I'm just going to drag onto the screen. This is the Windows calculator here. I'm going to put it up here, actually. This is the Windows calculator up here. When you first start it up under Start, Accessories, and Programs, it may look like this, very basic. But if you do View, Scientific, you'll get more functions, and this is what you need for cube root. So the first thing you got to do to figure it out is, you can also use a calculator, but anyway, I'm going to a real calculator, but I'm going to show you this one. This is the button I'm going to use for cube root. X is going to be 10 to the minus 4.49. And this little hat here means to the exponent, and y right here, y is going to be 1 over 3. When y is a fraction, that's the same thing as doing a root. So 1 over 3 will get me a cube root. Okay, so basically the way I want to do it first is input x. So x is 10 to the minus 49, and the way that you do that with this calculator is the same sort of idea. You put 10 in the x, and then you put minus 4.49 in the y. So here you go. I'm going to put 10, and then I'm going to click this button, x to the y, and then I'm going to put 4.49, and I hit this negative button. Okay, so that's 10 to the minus 4.49, so I'm going to hit equals. So you see it's a scary looking small number to the exponent minus 5. So that's 10 to the minus 4.49. So now I want to take the cube root of this. So again, I'm going to use this button right here. Now I'm going to use that number is going to substitute in for x, and then I'm going to raise it to the exponent 1/3. Okay, so that number is already input. I don't need to retype it out. I'm going to touch this button, x, and then I'm going to raise it to the exponent 1/3. So the way I'm going to do that, just to make sure the calculator doesn't screw up, is I'm going to put the 1/3 in brackets. So I'm going to start a bracket. I'm going to put 1 divided by 3. Then I'm going to close a bracket. See, there's the 1/3, right? And now I'm going to hit x to the exponent y, and this will get me the y part. I hope I did that right. I hope I didn't get confused. Anyway, so there's your answer. I'm going to drop it in the Word document right here. Oops, it goes off the screen. So I'm going to bring it back. 1 minute. I'm just going to reshuffle this a little bit. Ah, the joys of live production. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Edit, copy. And come here and paste it here. So there's my number. So I'm just going to increase the font a little bit so you can see that. It's still small, isn't it? Okay, so that's a little bit better. So activity to the H plus, so activity of hydrogen is equal to that. Now that's an overkill. Let's kill some decimals off of this. Okay, so there's your activity. So I'm just going to pause this for a second while I cough. Okay, so now that I've finished coughing up a lung, I'll just recap where we are. So what we were faced with is activity cubed was equal to 10 to the minus 0.49. We used the calculator and we're able now to take the cube root of 10 to the minus 49, and now we have that the activity of hydrogen is simply 0.0 3186. So now we're closer because, as you note, the activity of hydrogen is what we need for this formula right here. pH is equal to minus log the activity of hydrogen. So let me get the calculator back in the business now. So if I can take this number, 0.3186, then log it, take the negative of it, the pH should fall out. It should be pretty easy at this point. So let's give it a whirl. So I'm going to type it in, 0.03186. Then I'm going to touch the log button. Then I'm going to change the sign. So the answer, 1.49. Right out of the calculator. So 1.49 pH equals. So now let's go have a look and see if this is true, because it turns out that this particular value, this pH value, is actually written right in a table on the Corrosion Doctor's website. I'm going to give you the URL. I'm just going to paste it into here for a second. Okay, I'm going to increase the font so you can see it pretty easily. So there it is right there. It's corrosiondoctors.org, principles, metallic. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to navigate to that, and bring that table into view here. I'm just going to drag it over. So you should be able to see it. So we were talking, this particular question was about chromium hydroxide. So here's chromium hydroxide right here. Okay, there was the 10 to the minus 4.49 K equilibrium that we had. And it says in this particular table that the pH of the crevice will be 1.4. Okay, and this is at 25 degrees. Always assume 25 degrees unless you're told otherwise. So 1.4. And now let's take a look. What did we get? We got 1.49. So pretty close, 1.4 versus 1.49. So that's the way to do this kind of question, to finish it off with a little math at the end there. So I hope that this little tutorial is helpful to you if you're rusty on how to use your calculator for doing cube roots and for doing logs. Okay? Any questions? Let me know. Have a good day. Bye-bye.